Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
Hello everyone and welcome. Welcome to the 69th public meeting for testimonials here on Monday, August 8th, 2022. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond. I'll be a host today along with Mark and Elias and as co-hosts, and I think we're ready to start today's testimonial meeting. And we have a number of offerings available today, so let's begin. And I warned Steph that she might go first here. So Steph, would you like to go ahead with your testimonial from the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group?
Yes, I can. Just the question, Alenka said she will be translating to Spanish, means I stop after every two sentences, or?
I'm not sure.
Maybe just speak a little slower.
Okay.
Yes, please, Steph.
Mm-hmm. just say stop when it's too much.
Okay.
Okay, my testimonial from last Wednesday was, it was very crazy, you know, because he said nobody knows about the test, and he said just use an iPhone and the cable headphones, and everybody was searching for this stuff. Me too, because I know I had, but I didn't find. And yeah, all the people are asking, is it Samsung, is it okay, or is it with cable, without cable, whatever. The best thing was iPhone with iPhone cable headphones, but I didn't find, and I just used my normal headphone, another brand, and wireless. So, and during the 15 minutes, I just 5 times I was like shivering in my body. I don't know if I fall asleep and wake up or what it was. I didn't know. And the last thing was I fall over the chair. So, but nothing else happened really at this day. The next day, it was amazing. My wounds in my face, I told you sometimes that I really have bad wounds in my face. They didn't heal, and there was a big crust on this wounds. I've never had, and pain, really pain. I never had to. I took 4 days pain reliever, and after this, it was easy to pull off the crest and pull out the blood under it. It's really one wound. There is many blood under it. No pus, also no bacterial infection, just blood. And yeah, it was totally different. And yeah, it seems, also, it's, yeah, I think it heals. Yeah, that was the first thing. And the second thing was I was meditating with my wireless headphones in my pyramid, in my couple pyramid meditation room. And always when I think of Mr. Keshe or the unit, my left earphone was tingling. And when I think at another thing, whatever, nothing to do with Keshe, it stops. I have done this more than half an hour, and it always was the same. Just thinking of Mr. Keshe or the unit, the left iPhone on my ear was tingling and get a noise. Incredible. So, and something happens. Let me see. One thing was, there was one thing. I just have to look up in the moment. Wait. Oh no, that was it.
Okay, so just so people have a more of an idea of what happened during that time, in the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, Mr. Keshe showed up and took us through an experiment, basically, where everyone, or a number of people participated, and various people had different results. We had 10 minutes of silence where Mr. Keshe was sort of setting things up in the background, and And this was Steph's experience. And it's funny, you say you didn't feel very much during the actual event, but the next day is when you got when you felt the results.
Yeah. And another thing, after this, I had so much energy. When I'm not sleeping, sometimes I sleep 2 days and I'm awake 2 days. And when I'm not sleeping since Wednesday, I really feel good. I had so much energy. I didn't know where to begin here because, I have a lot to do because because of my illness, I always sleep and everything is here to do. And I had such energy. Just today, it's very hard. Today, I don't feel really good, but the last days really fantastic. So that was it. Sorry.
Nice. Right on. Thank you very much.
I think she was saying wounds on her face. I think she meant wounds.
Wounds.
What we call wounds, or some sort of infraction, just so people would understand it was a skin issue or maybe something deeper. And apparently there's a clearing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it called wounds? Wounds?
Wounds. Yeah.
Wounds. Okay. Yeah, then I have wounds.
Yeah, you could say I wound a clock, but it's a wound when you have an injury.
Okay, thank you. Wound. I have a lot of wounds in my face since 1 year, and they totally come, different.
Is that like acne or something, like a teenager?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the beginning, it was like acne because I have this hypophysis adenomas. All my hormones are getting crazy because the hypophysis there are all hormones of the whole body, and there I have adenomas, and sometimes it spreads more hormones or less hormones, and first it begins like acne. But now it's no acne, it's something else. I'm studied medicine, but I never find something like this. It's really one wound. I have to pull off the crust and it's bleeding, and it's really, I need half an hour to get the bleed out and then it can heal. But when something left, I get a new crust and I have opened it. It's unbelievable. I have never heard about this because I told you I'm studied medicine a lot and I don't know what it is. And on my face, I really look. Yeah.
Well,
sounds like you're about to go back to being a teenager again.
Okay, I'm the menopause, that's the other way, but it hasn't to do with acne, because acne, it's something this pus, there's a yellow stuff in it. It's bacterial infection, but there's no bacterial. It's just bleeding. It has nothing to do with acne.
But as I understand it, you found a clearing through the process you went through just once on a test, just an informal test, so to speak, with Mr. Keshe.
Sorry, what do you mean? It was in another way after this day. I have such a big crust. I never had this big crust. It was always very wet and totally different. And after this day, I really had a big crust and it seems like healing, but before I have to pull off the crust, and I have a lot. And get out all the blood, and really I don't have so much energy. I told you, one wound or two, it took an hour, and I really get 1 liter of blood out of it. It's unbelievable. And then when it's all out, then it can healing. But sometimes I left something because it's tired. Sometimes it hurts very much on different areas, and I don't have the it's too much pain, and so I just left something inside, and it's a crust again, and I can tell you it's incredible. I have never heard about it, and and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know your exact condition, but I know when, as a child or even as an adult, when you fall off the bike and you skin your knee and then the crust builds up there, or what we call the scab, they always say don't pick at it because then it has to start that process all over again. I'm sure who works with his hands or gets a scrape or a cut or a wound periodically, and that they've always said not to peel prematurely, allow it to disengage on its own almost.
Believe me, I tried everything, and when there's a crust on it and there's blood under it, it always is there. First, when I pull off the crust and did the blood out, then it can heal. Before not. I tried everything with my face, everything. I told you it's something different. I have never heard about it, and had nothing to do with it cannot heal, because it cannot heal because of the blood under it. First, I have pull out all the blood.
Okay, well, maybe just people that are hearing this in the broadcast, there might be someone that has a similar circumstance they've gone through or might recognize something medical with that. Perhaps they can give feedback at some point.
Yep.
But we wish you the best in your journey. May you find a cure or a solution that helps in a big way. Perhaps this new technology that Mr. Keshe is bringing through will be part of that. And also, some of the medical teachings will be opened up more from now on with Mr. Keshe, although he's restricted especially in the YouTube teachings for not making claims, medical claims, so that they try to shut down the YouTube channel and that kind of thing.
Yeah, thank you. I am very interested in these medical healing sessions. Are they in the private teaching or in the official teaching?
I don't know. All I know is that they have the sessions in Linz, and they won't start, I guess, till the end of August or beginning of September now. But perhaps there'll be other experiments that'll be done. Could be in the plasma group, or who knows.
Yeah, sure. He said maybe sometimes on your 7 o'clock Wednesday reactor group. He said not when, but he said your reactor group is his favorite to do some more tests, but he don't say when.
Right. So stay tuned and go to that class, and hopefully he'll show up and give us some further direction on that.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes, have your gear ready, as they say. Headphones.
Sure, for you. Like everyone who was in this Wednesday teaching, they all have their iPhones and their headphones near them.
Yeah. Pack your bags and be ready to fly.
Right.
Gee, I noticed a number of people have just joined us in the last few minutes. You may want to ask if there's anyone who has something they'd like to share, Rick. They just came in, so unless they'd like to raise their hand.
With another fresh share here first, but just
They're coming in waves.
Yeah, I can't even look right now. Let's see. To put that somewhere. Okay, I've got a. Where did it go? There it is. Short video. I believe from Gianni and sent by Liliana. It says short testimonial from Gianni. It looks like 4 or 5 minutes. So let's have a look at that next. Or on the other hand, did you want to say anything about your experience in the to go along with the one we heard from Steph? Mark, I was thinking that you might want to say something.
Sure, I was there, and the whole process, he was doing something in the background, actually linking us to a system over there. He wasn't telling us exactly what he was doing. It might have been one of the new brain enhancement sort of systems. I'm not sure. But I didn't follow the instructions completely correctly. I didn't think I had any headphones. Then I found some old headphones. I didn't have the Apple phone. I had the Samsung phone. But the Samsung phone wasn't connected to the meeting. I was listening on an iPad. But even with all those things that were happening, and I put the headphones on, I connected it wirelessly to the phone, telephone, mobile phone, but the mobile phone was not connected to the meeting. I sort of had the iPad next to me, and that's what I was doing. So he said, everyone go silent for about, I'd say it was a good 10 minutes or more while he did something in the background. Only his microphone was open. So I had my eyes closed, just thinking and thinking. And I don't know if it was at that point or when he came back in, I was trying to figure out how to expand the soul or whatever. But I think it was when he came back in and he said, now, Jalal, I want you to go to Iraq or Kuwait. And others, you could go to the moon. And that's when I sort of started to feel I would say it would be like a fly walking on the top of your head. But there's nothing physically there. A vibration starts. A feeling, a sensation. You know it's definitely in the center of the crown of your head, cranium. And then I started to feel the waves coming down only on my left side, as in pulses, only to my ear level. And I went to the moon and I kicked some dust with my right foot. And then I said, I don't want to be at the moon. Later, I thought, because it looked too desolate, even though there's probably untold life there, it just looked too desolate. And then I wanted to see my sister who's in an institution. And I saw her, observing her laying on a bed. And then I said, or Mr. Keshe said something. I mean, all this happened rather instantaneously. And then he said, if you'd like to go to Linz. So I said I should go to Linz because I paid for a mobile experience. So, and that's when I saw myself walking through the front of the exhibition center around the upper level. Didn't see really any displays or anything. And of course, my mind was telling me, you're just doing this because you saw pictures of it before and you're sort of playing them over. But these vibrations kept sort of flowing. I took the escalator downstairs. Mr. Keshe said he was there with Dean. But I didn't see Mr. Keshe and I didn't see Dean. Mr. Keshe said they were hiding. That's why I didn't see them. I think he just made a joke about that. But I did see the trees that separates the sort of interview room where the couch is and the flight room. And I broke off. First, I said, no, I shouldn't do that. That would harm it. Then I said, I'm going to break off a leaf off one of the trees. And I brought it back instantly to my table where I was sitting. I was right back instantly there. And I put it on the table, but there was no leaf there. And I said, yeah, there's no leaf because you brought it back in the energy state. But it was a very interesting and instantaneous experience. And I know what the expansion of the soul feels like now, at least on the left side. I know he said it's more like a nuclear bomb going off where you see this sort of mushroom cloud where the soul would be in the center, and these clouds are sort of the expansion of the soul. Obviously, it goes 360 degrees. I didn't feel that. I just felt it on the left side and just down to the ear, not the entire structure, physical structure. But one of the things I noticed in the last few days is that I haven't been getting hungry, even though I'm still eating. And of course, you can't stop just eating, but I don't have the hunger as I had, let's say, before, where you feel your stomach or you sense your stomach is empty. It doesn't seem to be that way, even though I've had a couple of what we call growlings, and I just had one a little while ago, where your stomach growls and sort of says, I'm empty. And you can feel it, but that just went right away, and I'm still feeling exactly the same. I'm still eating, not a lot, but I'm not having that sensation of hunger. And I know that was one of the experiences many people have testified of going through the process at Linz. The shopping basket, as he said, with the gas unit starts to become smaller. And I think this is one of the things I'm experiencing. Not losing any weight that I'm aware of, but the hunger pains, the empty stomach feeling just doesn't seem noticeable. So that would be it, Rick.
All right, good one, Mark. I had a bit of an experience during that time as well. I felt kind of a tiredness, but it was more like sort of the space between being awake and asleep. And I felt like I was being held in a fluid, in a fluid like water, but it wasn't water. It was thicker kind of fluid, or it could have been fields that I was feeling, but it felt like a fluid, and I felt supported in that, like I was maybe back in the womb. And at one point, Mr. Keshe was describing various places where people could go, like Mark mentioned, to the moon and other places. And he mentioned visit your grandfather and so on. And an image of my father actually came up, and that's what stuck for me. I had a kind of an interaction with the impression of my father, who passed well over a decade ago. And I felt like that I learned something through the experience, and it was I learned something about my father and what he felt like before I was born. And when he found out that my mother was pregnant with me, I think he was a little bit, or perhaps a lot, devastated because he wanted to spend more time with my mother before the kids came along. So there may have even been a discussion whether I should not exist as a birth. And somehow I did exist through it all, and my father loved me, and it was all great. But I think there was reservations at that point, and he had to address that, and he seemed to do that successfully, let's say, and as far as I know, didn't harbor any resentment or whatever toward me as I was growing up. But I'm sure it affected him in a big way. So that's part of what I got out of the experience. It was quite deep, and like Mark said, it was sort of instantaneous impressions. Wasn't a long drawn out thing, but just sort of an insight and impression, and a flash of a visual of his image and so on.
Yeah, it was like a 10 or 15 minute setup where we were all quiet. And then the flight period maybe was 5 or 6 minutes before he came back in and started asking if you'd like to share what happened. If you go back and you review that workshop, I think it's only about a 5-minute flight simulation or going to places simulation. But the setup period was longer, I think, much longer.
Mm-hmm. Is there anybody else that wanted to say anything about that event?
Hello, Rick. This is Galip. It was beautiful to hear your testimony. And Mark, you as well. Thank you. I was not live present, but as some have noted, you can re-listen to it. And when you review it, I deliberately paused the video to see if it was going to be just the fields that I'm connecting to daily, or if it's something with the video. And I've noticed that when I did play the video, I had paused the video for 10 minutes, more or less, or 15 minutes, to link up to the setting up period. And after that, when the going to places started, and also maybe the end of the going to place, the setting up, I had played the video. I had continued playing it again, and it does make a difference, I noticed. For me, at this point, many of my pursuits lead to me realizing that I am in a similar state of in the system, where or I should say in the room, and it's nice to have such a video, such a knowledge now that we can do this with the mobile, because as the same for Mark, I had Bluetooth connection. I was listening with I had Bluetooth headphones on, so if a recording with Bluetooth headphones on can give part of the fields, this is very I'm looking forward to how this is going to develop in the next stage of transmutation. I just wanted to add this small thing.
Other than that started about
4 hours and
I
47
think
minutes.
Nikolai mentioned something yesterday about listening, or he wasn't actually there, but he, I don't know if Nikolai wanted to share anything about that short testimony he gave regarding that experience he had as well.
Well, I don't see the microphone opening at this point, so perhaps he's busy in the
No
background.
problem. Salamia also mentioned that she had felt a connection to that. And as Mr. Keshe said, that we always leave a trace of our soul wherever we go. So there's probably some sort of trace of something in that actual recording. But again, he said he would, didn't say guaranteed, but he said he might pop up again in the reactor group.
Started about
To
4
continue.
hours and
In using a nickel-based transmutation process.
Hello, Rick.
Hello, Jefferson.
Hi, Rick. Hello, Mark. Hello, everyone. Jefferson Rodriguez from Brazil. I'd like to share the quick, not quick, but the experience that I had with you all and that Keshe Plasma Reactor group. And just to add the what Rick said and Mark said, it was just same kind of feeling. First it started, and when I used the Bluetooth headphones that I have with some amino acids that I made some months ago, and I felt just small, like vibration, high tone or bass tone, and yeah, high tone. And then during the process, it was a kind of a roller coaster of emotions. And sometimes I felt crying, and sometimes laughing. And I was there, but it was interesting because I didn't see any matter state. I just felt to be within, and without at the same time. But it's very hard to explain. But
You're a railway tycoon, and
this
you
connection was
using
so
1,
real,
2, 3.
but there were no images.
also
There were no only
I generated
interactions
3000
and maybe lights or different kind of lights, but the connection was absolutely amazing. As well as when we stopped the test, that Mr. Keshe came and asked if I had been inside the unit. I said yes, I was there. In this moment, I really was there, although I have not been there physically. But during that time, during the test, I was, and I believe it was with all of those who were around. That was amazing connection, and I believe in the future we're going to have a lot of progress
year.
in this field transfer.
But I
maybe
the pitch.
we can learn, maybe Mr. Keshe taught us how to convert it, this energy, and transmute it back to the matter in any point of place in the universe. And the most interesting, when I had finished the section, I was looking at my Bluetooth. It was off. So it had no connection with Bluetooth, although I was experienced this thing. So I took off the Bluetooth, and the connection was still there. We didn't, I think we don't need this. It's just a tool, another tool that Mr. Keshe has given us to have some matter state for us to understand that we can connect with each other, with the other energies on our planet or the universe. And the interesting, after 2, 3, 4 days after that test, during the sleeping time, I had not dreams, I had connections.
Hola,
I could
buenas.
feel that the dream was much clearer that it's not a dream. They're really so connections in many different orders of magnitude or connections with different people, but they were surreal. So after the test, during the 4 days, around 5 days, I've been through this process that I believe is a result of that opening connection that we have tested there. So that's the testimonial that I'd like to bring and to say that I think if you can continue these tests, you'll be a huge leap in the field transfer, and I don't know what's gonna come in front, but I think it will be amazing. And it's very nice to be with you all in this journey. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm around. Thank you.
Okay, excellent, Jefferson. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Anybody else have anything to say regarding that Keshe
Hello,
Plasma
Rick.
Reactor Group? Hello.
How are you?
Good. Who is this?
Lisbeth, Lizzie.
Oh, okay.
I sent to you one video and put yesterday at the North American team.
Yes.
But send video in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Alenka is here. Maybe she translated for. Is from one people in
Lizzie va a
Spain.
presentar su testimonio, pero tiene en español para que yo lo pueda traducir, o al inglés, no sé cuál de los dos.
No, está en español, es para que
En español, ok.
Yeah.
Sí, está bien.
Okay, it's for the Jose. Is many people in Spain actually around 4 or 5 weeks ago started in that technology. Yes, many movements and many working and have many testimonies. This is the only one. Thank you.
Okay, it's about a 2-minute testimonial. Should I just let it play, or how are we going to do the translation? Do I stop the video, or?
If you can put it slowly with a slower speed.
Oh.
And because I have many words and especially words for medicals, for the doctors. So it's very important, little by little. Thank you. It may be, what do you need? It may be, Claudia. No, Claudia is only in Portuguese. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll give it a go here, and I might have to stop the video if necessary, but I'll play it at half speed, I guess, and we'll see how that goes.
Hacerlo lindo. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, are you ready? Here we go. I have to share the audio just a second. Okay, let's try it.
Hola, buenas.
Hello,
Si
everybody.
no me conocéis en persona, soy
Si no me conocen en persona,
José
if you
Álvarez,
don't
que está en el
know
grupo.
me, my name is Jose,
Y os voy a presentar
and I will
a
present
una chica,
you a girl,
que
a
ahora
girl
os
who,
va a contar ella su experiencia
just a moment, Rick. Rick, could you please raise the volume because I cannot hear very well?
Oh, okay.
Ahora os va a contar ella su experiencia
Ahora
de
ella va a contar su experiencia. She will
1 hora y media
tell you the experience about
aproximadamente, cerca
1.5
de
hours
2,
approximately,
en la cual tiene un
in which
lápiz
she
Keshe,
has
lápiz
a
de
pen
salud,
case,
en la
health
mano,
pen
y ya os
in her hand,
contará ella ahora su experiencia.
and she will tell you her experience.
Y en el
It's hard to hear you over the voice, so let's try doing it. I'll just play part of it and then you translate it.
Okay.
I think I'll try it a little faster because I don't think it'll work properly at this speed.
Okay.
So let's try that. I'll try to get a phrase and then stop it.
Yes, that's better.
Not that I can understand, but we'll try. Let's see.
Y en el bolsillo del mismo lado tiene una probeta con varias copas plasmáticas, varios líquidos plasmáticos y unos
She has several plasmatic cups with different plasma liquids.
GANs, y ella os va a contar ahora su experiencia. Se llama Melissa, es doctora de la Seguridad Social aquí en España.
Her name is Melissa and she will tell you herself the story.
Y bueno, ahora os cuenta.
Okay, go ahead.
Hola, buenos días a todos. Tras
Hello,
2
good
horas,
morning.
puedo mover el brazo que lo tenía. No,
Now I can move my arm.
Tendones, me operaron y llevaba en 2 semanas que volví hacia atrás y el brazo me quedó inmóvil. Ya no alcanzaba la anteropulsión.
I had surgery in the tendons of my left arm and I could not move it.
La ABD no me llegaba ni a 90 y la retropulsión solo me quedaba en la nalga. Ahora llego, tras 2 horas, a la D12, paso la ABD a 140 grados y la anteropulsión os la muestro. Casi.
Rick, I don't understand her how do you say, her language, what she means, retropulsión, those words. It seems to me that it's very medical terms.
Right. Well, we can tell
I'm
that
sorry, but
she can now.
I don't think I can translate this.
Maybe it's reposition her arm easily now, or something like that. We can tell that her left arm works quite well.
It's adduction and abduction. It's like open and close the arms.
Oh, thank you. Entonces, okay, ahora ya puede ella abrir y cerrar sus brazos.
Y la anteropulsión os la muestro. Casi. Es maravilloso. Os lo aconsejo a todos.
Adelante.
Muchísimas gracias. Besos.
Y ahora ya ella puede mover su brazo completamente y se agradece. She says that she can move completely her arms now and that she is very happy and grateful for what she has been able to achieve. with the ganses.
Bueno, ahí tenéis un testimonio de cómo funciona y lo bien que funciona el lápiz de salud de Keshe. Y
So, there you have a testimonial of how well the pen Keshe works and functions.
también el líquido plasmático. Venga, un besazo a todos.
And also the plasma.
All right. Thank you very much for the translation.
Oh, not very good. I'm sorry.
Well, we got the impression across, and I think everyone can understand that there was
Yes.
some good results that occurred here.
Yes.
Alenka,
Sí.
ay,
Sí.
mira, reenvié al chat de español porque no hay forma de ponerlo en el Zoom de español porque está deshabilitado el chat. La experiencia de Viviana, que también es de este mismo grupo de buscadores de España que recién hacen 4 o 5 semanas en empezar. Están las
Qué
fotos y
bien.
todo. Ahí están las fotos y todo.
Okay. Gracias, Lisbeth.
Ok.
¿A dónde lo pusiste?
En el chat de español porque en el Zoom de
Bien.
español
Bien.
no se pudo.
Perfecto. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got another video that was sent to me by Liliana.
Aquí tengo otro video que me mandó Liliana
from Gianni.
de Gianni.
I don't know what language it's even in.
No sé en qué lenguaje está. Dice.
It's 5 minutes, and let me play it, and we'll see what's going
Son
on
5
here.
minutos y vamos a ponerlo para ver de qué se trata.
I think, Alenka, we need to mute your mic. We're hearing you.
Oh,
if
I'm
you're
sorry.
doing a simulcast.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Mark. I thought she wanted to do it that way, and I was wondering about that. Thank you. Okay, well, it might be needed in this video. I'm not sure. Let's try it and see what happens here.
A ver, abrir la cámara. Okay.
We'll open the camera.
Ya te vemos.
Just a minute here while I get this straightened out. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Alright, here we go.
A ver, abrir la cámara.
It looks like it's in Spanish, Rick.
Okay.
So I'll be translating to English.
Ya te vemos.
Bueno.
We don't see you.
Tengo que fijar la cámara, así que me...
I have to
para que
fix
me
the camera
podáis ver.
so that you can watch me.
Más. Más o menos, ¿no?
Is it okay? Yeah.
Tengo anillos, tubos.
I have those
hecho con
2 rings
plasma.
with
Eso
plastic.
fue un juego que he hecho con Jetta, creo que
This is a game I started with Jetta.
bueno, hace casi 4 años cuando hemos hecho el sol, que lo sabéis.
About 4 years ago when we made the
Y fue
first
un
time
juego,
the sun.
porque hemos pensado,
And it was a
¿qué
game.
pasa? Si yo me voy a poner
We wanted to try what happens if
el tubo
I
con CO2
place this tubing with CO2
el tubo con CO2 aquí
on the neck
y otro con el
and another
ZNO
one
encima.
with Zinco
Todos los que
up
han
in the
hecho
heads.
eso solo con ese tubo y tenía dolores de cabeza,
I
en
had
unos minutos
headaches,
sin dolores.
and with this
Pero los
tubing,
que
in
utilizaban,
just a few minutes, they were away. They went away.
los dos casi al instante.
I use
Algunos que,
both.
bueno,
Whenever I use both,
en la
the
República
headaches would
Moldavia
leave
vino
instantly.
un
In the
señor que
Moldavian
por la
Republic,
noche
we have done it
sí,
at
tenía
night.
un dolor de cabeza y ha visto
I had a small headache,
un anillo que estaba en el suelo. ¿Ha visto?
and there was a ring, a tubing ring that was on the floor.
Algunos con el anillo en la cabeza, la ha puesto y en
When I put
dos
this
minutos,
ring on the head in 2 minutes,
¡ay, madre de Dios!
wow!
No me duele la cabeza.
Ooh,
Divino, ¿me
my
puedes
head doesn't ache anymore.
vender a mí? Que así, si yo tengo eso, puedo beber cuanto quiero.
Oh,
Y he
when
dicho,
I have that, I can drink anytime and as much as I want.
Un anillo que estaba en el suelo. ¿Ha visto
And I've done that with the ring that was on the floor.
cabeza, la ha puesto y
Just placing it on the head.
2 minutos, ¡ay, madre de Dios!
And
No me duele la cabeza.
my head didn't
Divino,
ache.
¿me puedes vender a mí? Que así, si yo tengo eso. Aquí estás para aprender a hacerlo. Pero si tú vas a beber, a tomar vino
If
o
you want to learn how to do it,
alcohol,
if you drink
te va a ayudar un poquito ahora.
wine or alcohol,
Vas a continuar a hacer
it
eso.
will help you.
El plasma no te está resolviendo todo.
But the plasma is
Eso
not
te va a ayudar un
doing
poquito ahora, pero
everything. But
si
if you
vas a
use this
continuar a
ring,
hacer eso,
it will help you.
después, no sé si se puede beber, a ver.
I don't know if we can
Si se puede ver las
prevent
gotas.
it. I know if you can see it.
We're here. We're hearing the background sound from your speakers there, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Is it okay now?
That's a little better. Yeah, we can hear. Okay, let's carry
The
on.
problem
El
is that I
plasma no
cannot
te
hear.
está resolviendo todo. Si tú haces
The
lo
plasma
mismo,
is not resolving everything. But if you do this, it will help you.
si hacéis esos anillos después, no sé si se puede ver, a ver.
I don't know if you can see this. Let's see.
Si se pueden ver
And
las
now I
gotas.
share it.
No, no creo por la luz.
Can you see the drops? No.
Si te pones las gafas y están rociados aquí, haces
If you-
una conexión utilizando
If you wear the glasses
el
and
gas
it
de
has
aquí con
been
el de aquí,
sprayed inside, there is a connection with the tubing and the glasses.
y con el plasma que has puesto aquí. La
With the
conexión
plasma that you
del
have
pequeño que está
placed in
alimentado por el grande.
the
y al revés.
glasses, in the eyeglasses, and there is a
Si
connection
tienes
with the
el dolor de
tubing and the
cabeza en
eyeglasses.
casi
If
instante
you-
desaparece.
If your head aches, then in instant, in moments, it will disappear.
Si estás cansado, haces eso,
If you're tired,
desaparece.
it disappears also.
Y ahora lo comparto
And now I share
porque
it
ya son muchas personas que han confirmado eso.
because I have
Y como
many people
sabéis,
who have
después de
confirmed
confirmarlo,
these results. And so
entonces
when after
estoy
we confirm it, then I am
compartiéndolo con todo el mundo.
sharing it
Porque
with
si me
everybody.
ayuda solo a mí, puede
Because
ser
if it
solo
helps
la
me,
suerte entre la
It can be
familia.
just pure luck. But
Sí, y nosotros también vamos a empezar hoy un nuevo tipo de reactor.
And we are going to start today a new type of reactor.
Pues gracias, Liliana, y ya creo que tienes un video que puedes compartir, ¿no?
Okay,
Claro que
now
sí,
do you
Gianni,
have this
muchísimas
video
gracias.
that you can share? Thank you, Gianni.
All right, great. Thank you for that translation as well.
Muchas gracias por esa traducción. Muchas gracias, Gianni. Pues a probarlo.
All right, well, let's go on to the next testimonials. Does anyone have anything they want to say at this point?
Hi, Rick. This is Roseanne.
Hello.
Yeah, I would like to share one of my experiences with plasma waters, and although I didn't get 100% results, but it helped me significantly. I had plantar fasciitis since 2013, and it was very painful. I was thinking that I am living in hell. And it gradually got better, but it wasn't gone. So I just prepared 2 patches. I'm not sure if I use the right proportions of the plasma water and the amino acids. I just gave it a try. I thought there is no harm, so just try it. I used the CO2 water on 10 mil plus 2 drops of amino acids, and then zinc oxide water 5 mil plus 2 drops of amino acid, and CH3 2 mil plus 2 drops of amino acid, and then CuO2 1 mil plus 1 drop of amino acid. When I put inside my socks, I had show for like an hour. I started feeling the tingling feeling. It was like something was stitching there, and then after that, I felt that the pain was about like 90% gone. I was using that off and on and off, and then I got that flu. Recently, I got flu. I thought maybe it's COVID. So I had CH3 in my patch, so I stopped using the patch. In the meanwhile, I thought maybe the remaining pain is because of maybe calcium deposit in the tissue. So I prepared, I asked my brother, he's a pathologist. I first asked what is the composition of that calcium in the tissue, which is secreted by the tissue. And he said he checked, and he said there is no analysis on that, and he said most likely it is calcium phosphate. And then I asked him, because I had to make 2 patches, one in like 3 times the more than the other one. So my bones were on the way. So I asked him if he knows, and I said, do you know what is the calcium in the bone? What form of calcium is in the bone? He said, it's calcium phosphate. So I was hesitant to use that, but I gave it a try. I made the plasma of hydroxyapatite, which is calcium phosphate. It's the form of calcium in the body. And And then when I use the patch, one on top, one on the bottom of the feet, I felt like pain, but something was moving, but and the pain wasn't unbearable, so it was bearable actually. So I used it, but I didn't feel any much difference after that. So I started tapping my heels, like while walking, as Mr. Keshe recommended to not for this condition, but just for health, like 30 to 40 times per day, tapping the heels for the vibration transfer to the bone. And I actually used it like 100 times per day. And actually it helps a lot, reducing the pain, and it felt better. There was some days that I felt like I could feel my feet, because before that I was just feeling pain. I couldn't even feel my feet. I wish I could go one day back to have that feeling of my feet, I'd be able to feel my feet as it was normal. So, but I got that feeling, which was happy. So I was happy, and then it goes back again, and it's on and off. I don't know what is causing this, but I don't know if I use the appropriate ratio of the plasmas. Anyway, if someone could help with that, I would appreciate that. But I got really good results with that. And I gave also I made 2 patches for my daughter, because she had foot pain too, but she had pain in the arc of one of her feet. So the next day she told me that 90% of the pain was gone, but it came back again. So I don't know how we could resolve it, but it's better than 100% pain, The 90% is gone, 10% is better. That was my experience.
Okay, very good. So it seems like you still need to get at the root of the problem, perhaps, and it's the patches are helping with the pain, but you still need to resolve the root of the issue, it seems. Do you?
I think I have to use it longer, maybe.
That could be.
And I don't have uric acid check blood test, and my actually doctor ordered, and everything was fine with my blood test. So because they say some people have high uric acid, but I didn't have that problem. So it was actually an injury because of I believe it came from the new safety boots that they gave us at work, but they didn't want to accept that. Anyway, they couldn't remove my pain, but faulty shoes could cause, or footwear can cause plantar fasciitis too. I don't know how to fix it. I tried. I visited doctors. I made ordered orthotics. Whatever was on the internet, I bought and used. I spent like thousands of dollars. Nothing helped. But these patches, at least 90% of the pain is gone. I'm really happy with that.
And just to recap your patches, did you say 10 milliliters of, was that CuO? The first one you
10
said?
10 milliliters CO2.
Oh, CO2, okay. Yeah. And then 5 milliliters of the zinc oxide.
Right.
And 2 of CH3.
Right.
And what was the last one? 1 milliliter?
CuO2.
The CuO.
Yeah, it was 1 minute. I don't know if I had it. Because the ligament is injured. It's not muscle. That's why I didn't use that much CuO2. So I don't know. Maybe I had to use more. I'm not sure.
Do you also drink GANS water?
No, I didn't.
Well,
I just drank before the flu or COVID, whatever I thought I had.
Mm-hmm.
What should I drink? CO2?
Well, I can't make a specific recommendation, but it does make sense to drink the CO2 water. A lot of people have good results with irritations of all kinds, so it seems to be good for inflammatory situations. And definitely the zinc oxide is really good for irritations. We know how it relieves skin irritations almost immediately, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely think about the drinking of GANS water, which also helps to alkalize the body, which usually helps with most issues as well. But I am not a doctor, and we can't recommend specific things for specific ailments in this show, really. But I think you're on the right path, and obviously you're getting results. I think it's a matter of the rinse and repeat technique. In other words, keep at it, and perhaps you'll get some long-term results from it.
Yeah. Do I need to also add amino acid for drinking?
Yes, I would do that. That's
what ratio do you recommend for CO2 to zinc oxide?
The CO2 to zinc?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Most of the time it's pretty hard to not hard to tell the difference exactly, but there's often CO2 mixed in with the zinc oxide and vice versa, and some of the processes produce both. So there's probably some information in the KF Wikipedia about that. Perhaps someone else can say something about the zinc and CO2 ratios. Is there any information on that someone can share? Well, I guess you're on your own for right now.
Okay.
But it's something that you could put in, for example, the golden age of GANs is really good for questions like that. And there's a large number of people in that group, and they have a great deal of experience with GANs in particular.
What was the name of the group again?
Golden Age of GANs.
Mm-hmm.
It's been popular. It's one of the largest Keshe technology groups. Been around for a long time. Run by Mark House.
I think Dan put something in the chat for Rosanna as well, a link.
I appreciate that.
Maybe I can get the link for the Golden Age of GANs. Just a second here.
Okay. Mark, I had a question from you. I remember in one of the workshops you were explaining the plasma science, which was awesome, and I wanted to send to my friends if they want to learn, but I can't remember the number of the workshop or which minute it started. Are you able to help me with this? Do you remember the number of the workshop?
If you don't remember, I certainly don't remember. I go too many meetings to remember what I heard yesterday. Sometimes.
Okay.
So we would need to be more specific, but thank you for the compliment. I don't know much. I know very,
It was
very
like 30 minutes explaining what plasma science is.
Oh, you mean the video that was made that showed the different nano things and something like that? Not me, I don't think. I'm not really a teacher. I mean, we're all students and we're all teachers, but I just consider myself sharing knowledge, usually.
It was the 30 minutes of part of, I think, a workshop video.
Yes, it must have been. You sure it's not showing the GANs in the different portions of the Keshe Foundation, different areas?
No, it was just explanation. It was just
Okay. No, I don't recall.
okay.
Perhaps it's the 12-part series on what's it called? About plasma science.
Oh, from Australia?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think so, Rick. Okay. I don't recall what she's referring to unless you've gotten me mixed up with someone else.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It was your voice. I don't know. Okay. No problem.
Hard to say.
I have to go watch all the videos that I watched again.
There are so many videos and they still come out frequently. It's hard to keep track. Speaking of videos, I've got another one to show.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, I think this is the one Mark recommended, I believe, from the Portuguese teaching.
Yes, and I was hoping Raphael would set it up, but he was here, but he's not. But overall, he's not now. But overall, well, I think it was a little past this part, but you may want to include this as well.
Yeah, I think this sort of sets it up in that this is what the question was.
But anyway, the woman found quite a bit of freedom and controlling being the creator herself, where she was sort of feeling bad for herself and crying alone, and now she cries for joy and understanding that she is the creator and can do so many things. And this is what Mr. Keshe has told us. You're your own Messiah, you're your own doctor, you're your own energy provider, and you're your own traveler as well. So she's gained so much confidence. I think it was a beautiful testimony. And that's why I thought I'd just recommend it to you, Rick.
Right on. Okay, let's play it through and see what that's all about.
Assistir a vídeo sobre o trabalho da nossa querida buscadora de conhecimento e voluntária, Tânia.
Olá, eu sou Tânia Vaz. Vim aqui hoje dar um testemunho sobre como eu conheci a Fundação Keshe, como eu conheci a tecnologia Keshe. Em 2019, eu sofri um acidente em outubro, né, onde eu tive 2 vértebras da coluna fraturada, o ombro direito deu uma luxação muito forte, eu não conseguia movimentar o braço. Aí deu convulsão cerebral, deu traumatismo craniano e eu fiquei assim uns 4 meses assim sem me mover, né? Sem me movimentar. Em março de 2020, né, eu tive a oportunidade de conhecer a tecnologia. Então, assim, eu tive acesso à tecnologia, mas eu não tive informações sobre a tecnologia. Eu tenho um amigo, Daniel, que tive a oportunidade de conhecer a tecnologia. Então, assim, eu tive acesso à tecnologia, mas eu não tive informações sobre a tecnologia.
Rick, we're missing.
Eu tenho um
Excuse me.
amigo, Danilo, e ele me trouxe uma amiga dele.
We seem to missing some of the words.
Yeah,
The lower line.
I tried to fix that, but I think it's
of the
just
transcript.
part of the video.
No, it's played very nicely yesterday, and I think in the Brazilian meeting, which I saw it on Friday.
Yes, I watched this before and it was okay.
Well, let me see. What can I do? Try and make the screen smaller. Maybe that'll work. I lost the place here. Let me see. Okay, let me just I'll play back some of it there, and
that's about where it stopped. Yeah.
Okay.
Ação muito forte, eu não conseguia movimentar o braço, aí deu convulsão cerebral, deu traumatismo craniano e eu fiquei assim uns 4 meses assim sem me mover, né? Sem me movimentar. Em março de 2020, né, eu tive a oportunidade de conhecer a tecnologia. Então, assim, eu tive acesso à tecnologia, mas eu não tive informações sobre a tecnologia. Eu tenho um amigo, Danilo, e ele me trouxe uma amiga dele, né? E essa amiga, ela, assim, trouxe tudo para mim, né? Trouxe a água de plasma, trouxe a água do CB1, o CB2, trouxe uma água que era para mim usar, né, para fazer inalação, me ensinou como fazia, me trouxe o copo, veio, colocou o capacete na minha cabeça, né? E eu sei assim que eu senti uma alegria muito grande, né? Eu olhava para elas e ainda falava assim: olha, eu não sei do que se trata, mas eu tô se sentindo bem, né? E eu achei que eu tava rindo, que eu tava achando engraçado por causa do capacete, né? Que a gente coloca e fica estranho, né? E depois eu fui conhecer realmente a tecnologia através do Fernando Betete, que assim, fez uma live, né? E com o Rafael, e aí foi onde que eu conheci, né, do que se tratava e tudo. E aí em outubro, depois que eu assisti essa live do Fernando Betete, eu entrei no grupo, né, e comecei, né, a pesquisar. Na primeira semana eu preparei todo o material, já fiz as minhas bobinas, né, já revesti elas, nano-revesti elas, e quando foi na semana seguinte eu já estava produzindo meus primeiros copos. E quando eu tive o acesso da tecnologia, eu senti uma alegria muito grande, né? Logo no começo, na primeira semana, eu ainda não tinha produzido os meus copos, ainda estava naquela, né, nano-revestindo ainda, né? Eu tive o caso da minha mãe, que teve Covid, né? E com 77 anos, graças a Deus está tudo bem, não teve nenhuma complicação, mas eu entrei em contato com a fundação e eles me passaram um grupo de ajuda, né? Eu entrei no grupo de ajuda, pedi ajuda. Então hoje eu faço uso da água de plasma, né, do copo 1. Eu faço uso do capacete para trabalhar as minhas células cerebrais, trabalhar também o traumatismo. Então teve algumas coisas que ainda tem que ser trabalhadas, né? Minha coluna, graças a Deus, já está calcificada, mas assim, as dores musculares, né, que eu tenho tratado com a tecnologia, principalmente a caneta para dor, né? E a caneta para dor, ela tem me dado assim liberdade de movimento na hora que eu vou fazer as minhas atividades, liberdade de movimento na hora que eu vou fazer as minhas fisioterapias. Então, assim, tem me ajudado bastante. Eu nunca estive tão bem na minha vida, né? E essa semana eu tive um depoimento de uma amiga que é uma cliente também, e ela simplesmente chegou aqui em pânico e a gente conversou e eu acabei dando água do copo 1 para ela e ela foi melhorando emocionalmente. Então, assim, é incrível a alegria, né, que brota assim do coração. É uma coisa assim inexplicável, é uma coisa assim que não dá para dimensionar, né, o que essa tecnologia traz para nós. Né? A certeza de que eu estou bem, de que muitos vão ficar bem, e que tudo vai mudar, e a gente está vendo assim a posição, né, que a Fundação Keshe está tomando agora, né, os rumos que ela está tomando, que eu praticamente conheci agora. Então, assim, é maravilhoso, dá uma esperança muito grande para a gente. Né? Eu tenho feito assim alguns experimentos também com as minhas plantas, minhas orquídeas, né? Eu quero um mundo melhor, toda a vida eu lutei por isso, quero uma família melhor, eu quero um planeta melhor, né? E eu acho que essa força interior que vem, que brota dentro da gente, né? É através do plasma, né, que dá essa energia, essa revigorada, né, no nosso emocional, na nossa mente, sei lá, abre caminho para uma série de coisas. Vou mostrar um pouquinho da minha sala para vocês, mas aqui nós estamos, né, tem os copos, tá tudo ainda organizando, viu, gente? Ó, aqui são as águas, né, para doar. Aqui eu tenho a minha mesa, tenho o meu capacete, o meu borrifador pequenininho, né? Minha água plasmada, aqui eu estou plasmando água. Aqui é a água do copo 2. E, né, tenho aqui o meu umidificador, né, que eu deixo sempre aqui na minha sala. E à noite, quando eu vou dormir, né, eu deixo ele ligado. Aqui eu tenho os copos da alimentação, né? E os 4 copos da alimentação. Tenho aqui o meu copo do homem. Olha, fiz uma casinha para eles, e tudo que eu faço, tudo que eu tenho aqui é realmente assim, eu que fiz, eu que estou projetando, eu que estou fazendo, pego algumas ideias no grupo, né? Aqui são os 5 copos horizontais, né? Então, é isso aí. Me deu vida nova, me deu ânimo novo, me deu alegria, né? Esperança de um mundo melhor. E isso eu só tenho assim a agradecer muito, né? O que eu senti foi que a tecnologia, ela escolhe a gente. A tecnologia me encontrou, me achou. E aí eu estou aqui, né? Trabalhando, estou aqui fazendo as minhas experiências comigo, me tratando, cuidando da minha família, cuidando da minha cachorrinha e das minhas plantas, dos meus peixinhos, né, das minhas clientes. E aí a gente vai simplesmente assim crescendo, né, um pouquinho de cada dia. Todo dia eu aprendo um pouquinho com o grupo, todo dia eu aprendo um pouquinho com as aulas. Então assim, eu aprendo muito com o pessoal, né? E eu só tenho assim uma imensa gratidão com todos vocês e gostaria de desejar aqui assim tudo de bom para vocês. Agradecer ao Sr. Keshe, né, por nos presentear com essa tecnologia e com certeza nós teremos um mundo melhor. Hoje eu sou uma mulher com esperança. Antes eu não era. Agora eu choro, mas eu choro de alegria, de satisfação em estar presenciando tudo isso, né? Eu achava que eu nunca na minha vida fosse participar dessa transformação que está tendo no mundo e que vai ter a partir de agora. É essa alegria que eu tenho no coração. Um beijo para todos vocês. Se cuidem, se amem e amem, amem, amem e se doem o máximo que vocês puderem. Um beijo no coração de cada um de vocês. Obrigada, Dr. Keshe. Eu amo o senhor.
Obrigada,
Maybe I'll just play this end piece too.
Tânia. Muito obrigada pelo seu belo depoimento. Que mais almas possam ser tocadas e venham juntar-se a nós nesse lindo trabalho de servir. É a hora da mudança. É a hora de paz. A hora chegou. A hora da mudança é aqui. E como eu disse, meu desejo é minha ordem. Se é seu desejo ver a paz, o caminho da paz é feito muito claramente. É a alma da consciência coletiva que, dando, criará uma posição de mudança. Nenhuma outra coisa. Esta é uma frase do Dr. Keshe. Há muita atividade no plano de fundo do Telegram, dos ensinamentos e das mídias sociais. Tradução, legendas, edição de vídeos, auxílio aos novos buscadores, divulgação da tecnologia e elaboração de workshops. Seu coração sentiu o chamado e a alegre vontade de ir e ajudar a expandir a tecnologia? Nos informe no grupo do Telegram, Keshe Brasil Knowledge Team. Junte-se a nós, seja mais um voluntário e descubra em que atividade você pode contribuir.
Okay, well, that was a very touching testimonial. It's very nice to see a newcomer to the technology and how they respond to it and make use of it. And she certainly has dove right into to it and totally engaged.
Yeah, she was saying she thought the technology found us.
Mm-hmm. That was an interesting perspective, and I think that's, to a large degree, very true. Okay, we've got more from the Portuguese groups from Brazil, and I've got a series of three testimonial PDFs. So let me start with that, and I haven't been through them all yet, so it seems to be in Portuguese. With English translation. So perhaps I'll read this, I guess. It says, "Good evening, everyone. I'd like to share what happened to Lana, my brother's dog, who had a flesh wound all over her body when I got there. He said that she had had it for years. She puts the medicine that the vet gave her. The wound dries up, but it always comes back. She was also limping with both hind legs, so she could barely walk. It broke my heart to see it. Immediately, I decided to spray the water from glass 1, that'd be cup 1, which I always carry with me, directly on the wounds, then all over her body. After 30 minutes, we went to check on her because she had stopped licking the wounds. The wounds had no more sign of blood, and were already clearer, as you can see in the pictures. I went back 3 days later to get some water, and the wounds were already starting to heal. I asked him to put a cup of water from cup 2 into her water, and to continue spraying water from cup 1. After 10 days, the hair was already growing at the site of the wounds, and she was walking much better. I noticed that she was so happy when I sprayed the water on her that she would sit up and raise her head to spray under her neck. My brother had already thought about putting her down and was impressed with the result. It is wonderful to see how quickly animals and plants react to plasma technology. Thank you, Mr. Keshe, for giving us this technology." Hello, everyone. I would like to tell you about an experience I had this week with our son. He has many allergies that have been alleviated with the use of GANs for 3 years. But last week, his allergies started attacking him due to mold and evolving into bronchitis. I was giving him the CO2, CUO, and nano-PLS, but he only got worse. So my husband diluted 1 milliliter of, I think it's cup 2, CV2 PLS. That would be
plasma water.
Yeah, plasma, what, LCL? Plasma something water, but he only so diluted 1 milliliters of CV2, maybe cup 2 plasma water, and 1 liter of water to give him. But 2 days after following with the administration of these GANs waters, he had a crisis of breathlessness due to excess of phlegm and coughed a lot. It was dawn, and I was considering taking him to the hospital. But I tried to calm myself and ask God for an orientation, and then I had the idea of doing an inhalation of the copper oxide plasma water. And then he started coughing even more and complaining of pain in the chest and belly. But the dry cough became secretive, and I included CO2 GANs water in the inhalation, and he vomited a lot of phlegm and instantly started breathing normally, and even said, "Mom, now I need to sleep because after all I've been through," right? After the improvement, I continued giving the same plasma water as before and a CO2 plasma water inhalation before bed. I bought an anti-mildew device and gave a nice cleaning. It is, of course, the coastal house that receives very little sunlight. And he is very well now, thanks to God, to Keshe and his foundation, to the GANs, to my husband who is interested in seeking this knowledge that heals, and to you all who form a great chain of good that I wish from the heart that increases every day more. Gratitude, gratitude, thank you. P.S. My husband helped me with the acronyms, LOL. All right, another good one. Maghreb Capola formed tonight in the region of Itapetinga, SP, Brazil. 2 degrees with much frost. In our area, everything's green, acting proof of the Maghreb system, magnetic and gravitational. Reactors, plasmatic water, in the intention, in the presence, in the soul of the Creator. Good morning. I have used the water from cup 1 and it is great healing. A person lost his sense of smell and taste, went quickly to the doctor who did the swab test and prescribed hydroxychloroquine and another with a similar name. The son took water from glass 1 and 2 just to spray. Glass 1 was slightly salty and I recommended applying cream to the skin so it wouldn't be dry. The next morning she called her son, my son-in-law, and I heard him say, "Wait, talk to her directly." I trembled at the base because that morning I learned about the issues that were on the agenda regarding the use, and Keshe did not answer. What was my surprise when he explained to me that he did the sprays as instructed, but took some of the glass 1 that was not to be taken because of the salt it contained. He wanted to take it just to spray. Once that was done, he lay down and covered himself up. Then she felt her stomach hurt and burning. He went to the bathroom, evacuated, went to take a shower, and behold, feel the smell of soap and what else he used. He was so happy he went in there and took some more cup 1. Then he tasted salt. Afterwards, he went to the doctor to find out the result, and it was COVID. She did some exams, and the doctor was perplexed with the result. She was cured. The most incredible thing, he said, COVID came, went away, and took with it the scar she had in her lung. She is undergoing treatment at Unicamp University for her lung. I asked her to explain what happened and see if the scar really came out. Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm very happy to be able to share this experience with you. It may seem like a very simple and even banal thing to do, but if you think that in a big family like mine, only my younger sister and I are engaged in learning about this wonderful plasma technology. So I am sending you 2 photos of my daughter's leg, who was at a friend's farm and was bitten by a very common insect around here that goes by the name of horsefly. Its bite leaves a mixture of intense pain and itching lasting for days. My daughter is allergic to insect bites and even took an anti-allergic, but nothing improved. That's when I told her to wet a cotton pad with plain water and move it around the bite. On the second day, the swelling subsided and the picture was as you can see on the second picture. My daughter was impressed, recognizing the effectiveness of the water. At the same event, my granddaughter, came down with a very cold wind, mountain area. When I told her about the plasma water, she said, "Mom, go to Grandpa's house and get some water so I can get better soon." And so it happened. The next day she went to school as if nothing had happened. I am very grateful because the conversation took place in my family's group and everyone could witness it. Thank you, Dr. Keshe, and everyone involved in our growth through knowledge and experience. Testimony number 6 It dawned, adorned with white flowers, scented and with hundreds of bees around. It's called Garabiraboa, good for making jams, jellies, compotes, and also to be eaten raw. Good morning, everybody. With the strength of the glass of life one, this wonder of nature. Testimony 7. Puppy with hydrocephalus. And result after cup 1 plasma water. Testimony 8. Maria came to the house at night and brought me the cup of life 1 and 2. I took it as soon as I got it. I had all the symptoms of COVID-19. I had a rapid improvement. But I have a niece who is with acute tonsillitis. With guidance from V and M, his husband, I divided the cup 2 and indicated inhalation. The next day the child was a different one and no longer had pus in her throat. I want to leave here registered M proactivity here and prompt response in bringing GANs today. I am a producer of cup 1 and cup 2. Gratitude. Testimony 9. I am very happy after I did the cup of life. My sister-in-law started to take the plasma water of the cup 1 and to burify. I don't know what that is. She had a disconnection in the tendon of the arm. With report, she is so happy because she stopped the medication, does not feel pain anymore. For the people who are taking my family, everything is transforming for the better in all senses. I'm getting the cure of one of my kittens that suffered a lot of horrible allergy to her, already improved. Gratitude, 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 gratitude to the universe, Dr. Keshe with his light, to the friends, brothers, here's always helping. Testimony 10. Good morning, my friend. What's up? I would like to leave a statement in the Cup of Life group about an important observation that I made over the past months. That reinforces the importance of plasma waters. I've been using the cup 1 and 2 since the beginning of the isolation. Cup 2 started a little bit after cup 1, and about 2 months ago I started to notice some pigmentation points in the vitiligo spots, which is emotional by autoimmune. The spots had been stationary for a long time, neither increasing nor pigmenting. As I do not use any kind of medication and have not taken anything different during this period, I believe it was the waters that acted on my immune system. I am very happy with the finding. Testimony 11. Good morning. I'm here to talk about my experience with Cup of Life 1 and 2. My name is Pedro Fortaleza Sierra. I had an injury on my right elbow. I started to use the plasma water. In a matter of a few months, I was cured of my injury. Testimony 11. At that time, I was helping a little street dog. She had a lot of injuries from the cup. Today she is without any injuries. I want to thank all the knowledge seekers. You see a before and after. Testimony 12. Today I received a call telling me all the good things that happened after the use of the water from GANs in her life. She just sprays and inhales the water. Her blood pressure is under control. She no longer is tired due to her lung problem. She is active and full of life. She has hypertension and thrombosis in her legs. a lung problem and is diabetic. It's very gratifying to see people having hope again in life and being able to help more people with the technology that still has a lot to show to humanity. We need to study more to help more people. You can tell us about your events so that we can strengthen this chain of love and hope. Number 13. My mother lives 500 kilometers away from my house. I came to visit her. When I got here, I couldn't hold back my emotion of seeing her so down, tired, without spirit, without disposition for anything. Everything in her body hurts. She has high blood pressure, diabetes, and when she stands, she loses her balance and sometimes even falls. She is 69 years old now. As soon as I got there, I wanted to make a glass for her. I had a little difficulty, but I managed to do it. I started to wash her, and before she even drank the water, I sprinkled the water on her body. Guys, on the first day, she didn't sleep the whole day anymore. She was already excited and talked well to everyone. She went out to the backyard and caressed the plants. I observed her and said nothing. That was yesterday morning. In the afternoon, she looked at me serene and said, "I want you to pour more of that water on me." I even cried when I heard it. Thank you all for so much for the connection, for the Keshe Foundation, for the learning, for everything. Thank you. Oh, that was a beautiful one. I want you to pour more of that water on me.
Excellent.
Number 14. A gentleman was in a car accident. His arm turned completely brown to black. I donated a plasma bracelet to him. In less than 10 days, his arm was almost completely restored. The most amazing thing is that the bracelet became a reddish-brown color, almost the color of blood. The bracelet, I added CO2 and zinc oxide in specific measurements. The color was a slightly bluish-white. Testimony 15. Also another splendidly successful service. A beagle dog was paralyzed from the palate down. I made a collar with CO2 and prepared 2 pets with zinc oxide and CO2. I think 2 pots with zinc oxide and CO2. In less than 30 days, he was cured. Testimony 16. I learned about this technology by accident. I always think it was God who inspired me to open a video. I studied a lot about it and watched all the videos I found on the internet several times and built the Cup 1. This has been going on for about 8 months now, and the effects of this water plasma, are wonderful. Starting with my sister, who was having various serious lung and heart problems, and she couldn't stand up anymore because she didn't have the energy to do it. Well, I made her GANs to take and spray herself, and also sprayed in all the environments of the house. Today I usually say that she is better than me. Just a second here.
This has been going on for about 8 months now, and the effects of this water plasma are wonderful. Starting with my sister, who was having very serious lung and heart problems, and she couldn't stand up anymore because she didn't have the energy to do it. Well, I made her GANs to take and spray herself, and also sprayed in all the environments of the house. Today, I usually say that she is better than me. In my house, I cured several problems that my four-legged children had by putting in their water every day and spraying them. I hope I have helped you in any way. Happy New Year to all.
Thank you for taking over, Mark. If you want to carry on, that'd be fine.
Well, I have the kitty right next to me, and I'm thinking she's going to meow at any second.
Well, that would be fine. She can have her say, too.
I will tell you the effects that this water plasma had on my animals. I have a dog that had many intestinal problems and didn't eat almost anything. It was a problem because it wouldn't accept any food, and to make matters worse, it advanced on my 3 cats. Think of a dog that eats well, has had no more infections, and the cats walk freely around the house without him advancing. The balance of the mind is fantastic. I hope I have helped in some way. I decided to give these testimonials now because I have been using the water plasma long enough to see the results. I had COVID. I took the whole cocktail. I got better momentarily, but as soon as the effects of the drugs wore off, the symptoms came back chronically. In other words, I wasn't in a crisis, but I felt the same symptoms: headache, dizzy head as if I couldn't focus on anything, a lot of mucus, malaise, and tiredness. 30 days had passed and I was getting apprehensive because everything was still the same. I found out at that time that there was a group with thousands of people on Facebook who had had the mild to moderate disease like me and were having many mild or chronic sequelae even 3 months or more later. What they don't tell us is the amount of diseases that appear after you escape from the infection. Several cases of thrombosis in people 30 years or younger. I know 2 who had to amputate limbs, strokes, heart problems, and sudden death, facial paralysis. I know 1 person, etc. And all this post-COVID. If you escape infection, that is just a first step. From then on, anything can happen. By a series of synchronicities, I was taken to a tech person who provided me with the water for the infected protocol. Since then, already on the first day, I have had no more symptoms. I felt myself again. That feeling of being sluggish, like in a common cold that had lasted for 30 days, even after the usual medicines used had passed.
You can see the testimony numbers in the upper left. It's really hard to see them, but this will be testimony 19.
I do not see, I see a before.
And the upper left.
No, I mean as far as English.
No, I just mean the testimony 19 is, you can see each testimony number in the upper left.
Barely.
Corner. Yeah.
Barely in some sort of purple.
I didn't find out that until number 10 or so. Yeah, so this just shows a before and after. See what the next page. Oh, that's it for this one.
I know Steph had put in the chat she had a tennis elbow testimony. Maybe I was going to say we can intersperse that here, but that was 19 beautiful testimonies, especially with the one that said they want the water poured, or the dog raised up his neck and just wanted it sprayed on him. We've heard that testimony before as well.
Yeah, I thought from those testimonies it reminded me of Steph's condition, and perhaps the spraying of GANS water directly on would be a good treatment.
And I know Mr. Keshe said that, for example, if you're making these ZN, be sure to have the amino acids, he said, on the skin anyway, because otherwise it would dry it out.
Good point.
So that was very important, and that part about the amino acids when using on the skin.
Okay, well, what's the testimonial with the tennis elbow?
Okay. I have a friend and he has this tennis elbow, and he was operated 2 times, and it's like half a year, 2 operations, and every week, and it's the last time every day going to the doctor and pull out the liquid. And the last day after half a year, the doctor said, I cannot do anything. Nothing to do. And then he don't believe in my stuff and Keshe. Yeah. And I said, just give me a few minutes, just a test. And I made this bracelet, for example, with different gases inside. CO2, copper, and a nano-coated wire like in a spiral. And this I put around this elbow 4 hours. And after 4 hours, I said, okay, just, and it was away. And since then, nothing comes back. It's unbelievable. After 4 hours, half a year, it was so bad every day in the last weeks, pull out the liquid. And after 4 hours with this bracelet, it disappears.
I think you put your touch in it. I know Mr. Keshe said that about the doctors, that they can just touch. They have that healing sense about them, but you may have added that to your...
Maybe.
Yeah,
yes.
Good point. How much of it is our intention and our own interaction? Because we are big bags of GANs. Think about it. All we have to do is organize our own GANs to act as a GANs patch for someone else, and maybe giving them a hug is enough to transfer that energy, or perhaps using our hands as GANs pads can affect even the internal organs of others.
Sure, maybe. But this case, I just put it around and let him alone 4 hours, because I know he don't like this, and he just does it because I'm asking several times. And I went away, and after 4 hours I came back and let us see what it is. Yeah, it's too warm, and put it around. Yeah, and the arm was really thin, and it was away, everything, no pain anymore. This is a case where I don't really in it with my emotions, Sometimes I heal and then there is emotions, but this time really not. But sure, maybe. But it's one of my really favorite cases. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one. So has that person, have they gone on to be more interested in the plasma technology, and have they continued on with anything with that?
No.
Still hasn't convinced them, eh? Okay. Yeah. Well, many people go to doctors and just get a cure, and that's all they really need. They don't need to know about why it works and all the technology behind it. They're just happy it works and go on to something else.
Yeah, and after this day, he quit our friendship.
Oh, no.
yeah, 15 years together, always on the Canary Island, whatever. We were best friends. And after this, but he likes this, he's the mainstream. And he cannot hear what I said, or I don't say it anymore about don't go to the injection, whatever. But it's in his mind, no, you are this side and I'm this side, I don't wanna. And sure, it was the day where the day after I heal his arm. I get an email 1 month later and he was, thank you, it's super. But that was it.
Okay. Well, maybe he had some resentment for you being right or something like that.
That's what it sounds like.
I don't know. It's true. People have different responses. We see the response that many people have had in these testimonies that we've read here, and of gratitude. Gratitude seems to be the main word and main emotion that comes out at the end of it. And that's basically what it's all about. If you're able to feel and give that gratitude, that helps to pay back for your experience and to pay back for the learning of the technology and so on. That gratitude is a giving act, as you're giving it out, basically. So some people feel that, some people may not. Maybe it'll take some other event for them to feel that gratitude. All right, well, very nice. Let's move along. So that's the end of that particular one. And there's 2 more PDFs similar to this. I don't know if they're the same length or not. But I thought I would interject another video that's come in from Jefferson Modesto. He shared a video, and I'll play that now. It's about 6.5 minutes, I believe.
Pessoal, nós estamos aqui com a Fabiana, de Juiz de Fora, Minas Gerais, e eu sou o Jefferson, sou buscador de conhecimentos da Fundação Keshe, aqui no Brasil, e eu estou mostrando para ela vai mostrar agora para vocês o que aconteceu no ambiente em volta da casa dela após a instalação do Magrave. Tem mais ou menos 45 dias que foi instalado esse Magrave aqui na casa dela. Tá lá dentro da casa, E ela vai mostrar para vocês aqui as plantas, o que aconteceu, os animais, ela vai falar para vocês aí agora.
Essas plantinhas aqui, ó, elas estavam tudo empirriadinhas. Tá vendo a diferença da cor aqui, ó? Do amarelo para esse aqui. Essa daqui tava folhinha velha aqui, ó. Saiu brotinho novo aqui. Essa daqui tava sem nada. Saiu essa quantidade de matinho.
E outras plantas.
Essa daqui também, ó, isso aqui daqui pra cima saiu tudo novo. Essa daqui saiu tudo novo também, tudo folhinha nova. E essa daqui eu até marquei uma folhinha aqui pra ver qual que ia ser o resultado. Olha a quantidade de folha que saiu nova em 45 dias.
E os animais, Fabiano? Em relação aos animais?
Tá tudo indo tranquilo. Os animais.
Pessoas, né?
Pessoas e os bichinhos também. Tá tudo, graças a Deus, tá tudo.
Mais algum outro resultado que você sentiu? Na conta de energia é o primeiro mês?
Então, a conta, geralmente no primeiro mês pode dar uma elevada que tá equilibrando o campo, da gente. Mas mesmo assim, não abaixou R$20.
Progressivamente você vai ver mais coisas, Em outros
e
aspectos,
eu tava cansada também, porque eu tô
grávida,
grávida, Então, mas eu tô tendo, graças a Deus, tô tendo energia.
No emocional da família aí teve positividade?
Só positividade.
Tá. Então tá
Acabou o
jóia.
cansaço, acabou tudo.
Tá. Quer falar mais alguma coisa?
Não.
É isso aí, né? Obrigado, tá? Muito obrigado.
Caiu.
Pessoal, aqui é o Jefferson Modesto, sou buscador de conhecimento da Keshe Foundation. Estamos aqui com a nossa amiga Fabiana Gomes, de Juiz de Fora, Minas Gerais, e ela vai falar um pouco sobre os benefícios que ela teve após a instalação de uma grave aqui na casa dela, né? Pode falar aí, Fabiana, o que você sentiu?
Foi assim, o meu esposo e a minha filha, eles estavam muito deprimidos, estavam cansados, já acordava sem ânimo. Meu marido estava deprimido demais, chegava do trabalho, ia dormir, não queria nem interagir com nada, ia dormir, não queria assunto, não queria nada. E a minha menina só ficava trancada no quarto, não queria conversa também com ninguém. Aí o Jefferson me deu de presente, o melhor presente da vida. Uma grave falou que ia equilibrar o campo, né, da minha casa, da saúde das pessoas, tudo, ia equilibrar tudo. E foi uma coisa muito imediata. Foi na mesma semana, meu marido mudou assim da água pro vinho. Minha filha queria sair, queria passear, queria estudar, coisa que ela não queria fazer mais de jeito nenhum. Aí, e as plantinhas começou também a crescer. A minha cachorra que comia pouquinho, ela começou a comer mais, porque ela era muito magrinha, ela começou a comer mais.
E a questão da pele que você falou também?
A minha pele, gosto de banho quente, a minha pele estava descamando, ela parecia que eu estava com micose. E a pele melhorou assim, parece que eu passo creme, e eu não passo creme. Eu tenho uma preguiça de passar creme, melhorou assim, 100%.
E você tá numa gravidez, né?
E eu tô grávida, então eu ficava equilibrando o campo do meu marido, da minha menina, e me sentia cansada também, né, sem energia. E assim, eu acordo assim, quando você colocou uma grávida aqui, então eu tava acordando 6 horas da manhã. E assim, eu acordava assim, ó, sabe? Acordava querendo fazer as coisas. E assim, e eu acordava tarde, eu acordava, arrastava o dia. Então assim, mudou tudo.
E a conta de luz também deu uma melhorada, né? A gente calculou aqui 22% de redução em 45 dias, né? Somente, já, os 45 dias.
Em 30 dias.
30 dias.
Porque vai vir a outra conta, como você falou, vai abaixando um pouquinho.
Progressivamente vai abaixando,
né?
Exatamente.
Então, assim, é uma coisa, é a paz de Deus. Parece que é uma paz que dá na casa, que você não consegue brigar, você chega perto, você às vezes fica meio, né, com raiva de alguma coisa, emputecido com alguma coisa, você chega perto de uma grave, desmonta. Ele muda a sua frequência, sabe? Ele muda.
Vou mostrar uma grave aqui rapidinho, né, pra gente terminar esse filme. Quem quiser saber mais sobre isso, a gente pode falar em outra ocasião, que a gente tem pouco tempo hoje aqui, né, pra falar. Eu vou mostrar pra vocês onde ele foi instalado, né? Uma grave foi instalada aqui na cozinha dela. Nós vamos lá aqui. Ele está aqui na próxima geladeira, né? Aqui está a geladeira da casa dela. E aqui está o equipamento ao lado da geladeira, né? Fica instalado aqui e funcionando e suprindo as necessidades da casa aí, né? Fabiana, eu queria te agradecer então por dar esse depoimento, e a gente vai falar mais, né, outras oportunidades que tiverem para a Fundação Keshe. A gente está mostrando isso aí para todas as pessoas do Brasil, que quem puder fazer esse equipamento, aprender como é que faz, né? Se precisar de orientações, tem tudo aí no grupo Keshe Brasil Corona Team, o maior grupo aqui do Brasil e o grupo oficial do Brasil sobre a tecnologia Keshe. Muito obrigado a todos aí. Muito obrigado, Fabiana.
Obrigada.
Valeu. Tchau, tchau.
Well, that's another great example. Very nice to see, and thanks to Jefferson for putting that video together. Very nice.
As it seemed like everyone picked up energies, from the plants to the dog.
Yeah, amazing, eh?
The daughter, everyone enhanced, and the electric bill went down.
Yeah, besides this, the bill going down is just a little extra bonus, like for all the other things that are actually a lot more important than 20% reduction of your hydro bill that so many people are looking for from these units. Maybe they should look in a different direction. They might find better results, or more inclusive results, let's say. Okay, anyone else have anything they want to share right now? I've got a couple more PDFs to go through, but I would like to hear personal testimonies if anyone has anything.
Hello, Rick. Hello, everyone. Hi, Mark.
Hello.
Do you hear me well?
Pretty good. It's a little
okay, wait, I just changed that 1 second.
We can hear a background noise.
That should be better, right?
Yes. Thanks.
Okay. I just wanted to actually add, but after those very beautiful, it was just awesome, those testimonials, the whole session already. I'm actually quite stunned, and just hoping it goes further on with these feedbacks from all over the place, and from so many different opportunities how to apply the technology. So I'm really baffled in the moment. So if anyone is interested to hear how my experience was in Linz, that is what I actually came here to share with you. So I can add that from a personal perspective, and yet it's hard to basically, it's just too beautiful to be here, and I hope maybe I have to go back and further more coming to the testimonials. I think this is the second in the last couple of months that I'm joining, and it gives us so many opportunities if we have a little bit of free time, or maybe a bit more, or if we just want to do what we basically feel in our hearts or in our soul. And I'm really baffled and touched by all these beautiful messages. Thank you.
Andreas, that's what I was just going to ask Rick, if he had any new videos from the Linz Center. I know we haven't seen any ones released in a few weeks, and then you come on and open your mic and say, I'd like to share something from the Linz Center directly live.
Yeah, that would be terrific. That's what we were actually looking forward to in this testimonials group. And there was hints there might be another video in the background that would be prepared, but I don't see that for today. I know that Mr. Keshe has mentioned that there'll be further work going on in Linz after the 23rd of August coming up, and that there will be more testimonials then. But if you could deliver something, that would be terrific, Andreas. It'd be great to hear about your experience. Would you like to go ahead?
Very well then. So just to notice up front, it was not how I expected it to happen, and so in the first beginning it was really resembling with the first couple of maybe the first 2 weeks when we had the Mehran program. I was a little bit disappointed, as back in the days then I thought that I would now be trained to be a pilot of a huge spaceship, like in all those sci-fi movies. But that was not the case. But the turnout was even greater, or more beautiful. And so what actually happens now after the Linz experience, I'm having I'm jumping back and forth in time. So since it's like maybe like 10 days now. I especially with food, I basically when I start thinking about consuming some food, or if I start to touch it and grab it out of the fridge, I immediately already know how the effect will be on my body. Actually, I feel either if it's headache or something in the stomach. It's like it's hard to describe. It's after maybe I start in the beginning. So the first two experience that I would like to share with you is the situation that I actually wanted to go everywhere, as I intended to write down with the wishes in the beginning, and yet I landed more on the right opposite of what I wished for. So it brought me much more closer to myself once more. And so there is that specific feeling that if you would have like two towers and then you put a huge blanket between them, it was actually the feeling that I had sitting in the spaceship unit. So feeling actually where your middle point, or where your your 0 point, or how it's hard to put a name on it, but where your middle is, and this middle is like floating really gently in the wind. So that was really coming into, as I could look into myself, but not with the physical eyes, yet more in seeing how you would observe the situation, how you would basically paint your emotions. So it's like you have like two balls or circle, and in between there is that really gentle and really subtle and thin blanket. And in the spaceship unit, it felt somehow like sailing in the wind for me. So and then I'm not sure how much that was mentioned before. There is a certain, or there was a certain noise from one machine to the other machine, and depending on the fields that were activated in the sessions, or basically that were generated with the participants, those noises, it's like if you imagine like a wind, little turbine that's on a little house, so it makes a propeller noise like. And so this going back and forth of the noise brought me in tune of basically more be able to witness or be part of the fields that going like from giving and from taking. So in that process, I more or less lost touch with my heart. I dropped the heartbeat. It's hard to measure in that moment, but I describe it usually between 15 to maximum of 25 beats per minute, and it was just like it was a very small heart. It was not like that physical one that we in so many ways think we have. And this was more impressive even after the first bite, when I basically ate. But it was not the first bite, but a couple of, I don't know, maybe hours or maybe one day or two. I had that impression that that piece of food I put into my mouth, and when I was swallowing it, it was going like down of a, these orbital elevators. So they want to make an elevator to the orbit. It felt really like I'm throwing down a piece of food like for hours. So it was really like like a giraffe situation, but everything was normal. It was just a total different, actually, how would I say? Yeah, the experience, the reception of how it is happening was totally different in the perception. So on the way back home, there was a short change of direction. I don't know. I'm not sure if the location is important, but it was in Feldkirch, and when we went on the changing the train, I have to share with you and a little bit confess. I have a bad habit that I still not totally rid of. But bear with me. So that bad habit is just smoking. And Mr. Keshe mentioned in one of the workshops before that session with the Italian group that if you go out for a break and you have a cigarette, then you will just lose it, the effect of the spaceship unit. So it came then to me that, okay, this person has to be me and I have to do this. Sometimes I just don't follow the advices. Sometimes I'm just stupid. It's just that easy to say. And so in that moment when I was having that small cigarette, I came back into a very floating state. And we had that experience when we went to Hong Kong with the 4 Mojans back in the days, exactly like this. So it was, as I was mentioning in the beginning, I had really those going back and forth. And so why I'm sharing you with that is I try to put it in the wording that it can be said and that it makes sense in relation to what was said before. The machine did in many ways give me a way to reset my behaviors. If I abide and basically stop doing smoking, I was not. So the benefits of what I had from these resets, I would like to describe as Mr. Keshe made me experience my first cigarette. If you can relate to that, does that make any sense, Rick?
You mean like the dizziness and things?
No, I mean, if you could reset yourself to a cellular level back in maybe like, what was that? Maybe like 20 years ago. So somehow I was literally having the experience, that ugliness of the situation. It was just like you could have had if you have never smoked before. And I was smoking before, the years before I went into the machine. So basically, somehow it is possible to reset the time clock on your blueprint. That's what I got from the experience. And so I'm not sure if that with the sound is going to be needed, but as I was sharing those sounds, balancing each other or basically talking to each other in let's say it's like white noise exchange, I was asking Mr. Keshe if I had like a short insight when that happened with the blanket in the machine. So I asked him if I understand correctly, if those tones, if they are going to synchronize on the same frequency but much higher, that would be the moment when basically you get pulled into the ship or into the soul or into that envelope that is for the transmutation. And so Mr. Keshe is not really straight talking to me. He speaks much in riddles, but I'm not alone with this, I'm pretty sure. And yet he was sharing with me a couple of beautiful things. And to the question if that was right with the sound, he was just smiling. And so I guess we have like 3 days, and then it's the next workshop. So I think there's a lot of more good of stuff coming to us. Maybe I can add also that. So I had another issue on my right foot with the skin, and I didn't use the GANs, not yet. And I know why this is happening. I was observing myself how this is created, and this was basically also like resetted, like restored, like in 2 days. 2 days after the visit, it was gone. So I also had the idea that maybe we can give a nickname to the spaceship unit. It's like a testimonial machine, because it's basically, in my point of view, it will combine all the benefits and the beautiful messages that we heard today in that one location, or the bigger the field gets, hopefully on the home planet.
Testimonial machine. That's kind of a cool idea.
But it produces it out of the nothing, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would like to tell you a little bit about my experience. That was on the 26th of July, so about two weeks ago. And I was very impressed with that it's more important to bring something than to take something. So I thought, what could I bring? And my best experience up to now in my life was in 1975, when I had an experience of complete unity. Everything, the bad actors on earth, I saw that they only could do the good things also. They were not able to be outside of the divine because they come from the divine. And then ever since I had this experience, I tried to translate that in different ways, like in art, like in words, whatever. And I thought, I want to bring that to the machine, to the system. And that was, in fact, my only wish. I went with my friend, and she wanted to experience something of Lemuria, where we both were. We know that from each other. So she experienced something from Lemuria, but I didn't. But I had the feeling I just had to share this experience of complete unity, which is also the setup of the system, that the system unites back to the origin, to the creator. And I had that experience then. So that was what I wanted to bring, and I think I could bring it. But then, in a certain way, I am empty-handed. So I have to wait until some feedback comes that it arrived, what I wanted to bring. But I'm very happy that I was there, and especially also with the later talk with Mr. Keshe was very very heartily, very profound, I could say, and with Dean, who also remembered his days of Lemuria. So we had a beautiful sharing about that. And this will be in the testimonial probably. So that was one of my experiences in Linz. And it was, yeah, it was very, a new system. There is complete new setup, but I probably could not share about that because that is still in experimental phase. So that is my testimonial.
Well, thanks, Fried. That was very interesting. I'm reminded that Jalal has joined us, and perhaps he'd like to share something about the group session, the reactor group session. Or he may not be able at this time.
Hi everyone. Hi Rick.
Hi, Jalal.
I am very sorry. I have very trouble with the PC here, and I'm trying to fix it. Just I skip today.
All right.
Thank you.
Rick, I just forgot two little things.
All right.
I didn't want to get anyone excited about the 15 to 25 heartbeats a minute, because nothing actually was disturbing me. It was just everything was the same. I could do whatever. I mean, I could watch, I could breathe, I could move, but I was very, very peaceful. So everything was okay, even with that low heartbeat. And I asked Mr. Keshe how he would explain that. I also felt that on the left side it was even lower, on the right side it was more intense. So the average was maybe those between 15 to 25. And I asked him what is all about that. Is that I asked him with actually already answering somehow. If it is really about my intention to make the heartbeat, and I actually can't remember what he said, but I have the feeling that I was right in this moment. So, what if you already consciously love yourself with every heartbeat, and maybe it's as simple as that, but it's bigger in a complex way when it grows out into our totality. And that second point, what was it again? Yeah, what I observed is, and that's the beautiful thing as well, the testimonials usually go like a response on a certain situation. Someone has a problem and there is a solution with the plasma technology. And so far we're adding, I think, weekly new spectrums or parts of the spectrum. So I actually don't see any part where there is not the solution yet with plasma technology. But what I would like to ask, maybe we can have an eye on this, is someone experiencing as well maybe something like that you have like like an insight what happens in a couple of seconds, or if you have a phone call, that what we call synchronicity when you have it in the moment. But I think maybe we can add a little bit further and find out if the connection to the field is bringing you somehow like you get a faster lane to the events.
Maybe we could add such items as telepathy or telekinesis or other types of psychic phenomena as part of our testimonials as well. We're kind of diving into the outer edges of that sort of realm. As people become more opened up, they become aware of other dimensions and other synchronicities in their life, and it's sometimes nice to share them so others can go, oh gee, I had something similar happen and I hadn't looked at it that way before.
I mean, I had people saying, I'm doing well. I don't need any, support and help, and I have enough money to pay the bills and stuff. So we don't need to wait for people to have something, ugly in their life or bad happening to them. They can contribute to the bigger field already now. So, there might be some benefits as well if you have. I mean, just what I have in the experience, I already know now if I take a bite of chocolate, okay, maybe that is not what I right now need. And if you have this in other situations, it gives you. There's a piece I can't talk about right now, but there's some sort of trust to yourself that you're building up, either if you have confirmation in the past, but also when you see that your heart was right. And I think I will definitely take a look at that in what's coming. So in case there are too many people mentioning or having reports of that, I will volunteer here to support you, or basically do what needs to be done, Rick. I don't want to overload you with more work.
All right, let's go step by step, I guess. Okay, well, we're coming up on 2 hours and 45 minutes here. I do have 2 more PDFs. I don't know whether I should present them now or save them for later. One of them is quite long, 62 pages. Now that the other one's 33, about the same as the other. As the I think what I'll do is show the part 3 now, which is the 33 pages, and save part 2 for the next testimonials show, because it'll probably take an hour or so to go through. So let's do that. Is there anybody else that has anything they would like to come forward with before I engage into this?
Yeah, I would like to say something here. Anyone of you guys, when you are working with the ganses and when you give ganses, did anyone notice that what you are giving is more effective than what you are, let's say, sharing with your family? If I have a ganses and I give it to my family, it is effect, but it's not really high effect when you give it to another person, which is not from your family. Did anyone notice that?
Well, definitely that can happen. I've noticed that my family probably, even though they respect what I do and so on, they don't have much interest in it. They're not, I can suggest or show them things and they don't pick up on it. It's just, they realize that there's probably something there, but they don't really need it or want it in their life so much. Whereas if it's a strangers meeting another stranger is it's an opportunity. Usually people can open up more in that situation and become more intimate in a way than your own family. You might tell someone some health aspect that you didn't necessarily want to share with your own family and so on. So that's part of it. And there's the thing of the child whose parents can't tell them certain things, but if it's a stranger or the uncle or something, then they're the ones that can maybe discipline the kid or give them some advice that they just couldn't hear from the parents. There's too much resistance there. There's too much, we know each other too closely, and the kids like to rebel from the parents rather than agree to everything they tell them.
Rick, what I noticed when I give some liquid plasma to my family, it works, but it's not like when I give it to a stranger. It have more effect to the stranger than to my family. And this brings us to a teaching of Mr. Keshe when he said, the first magra, when you do, give it to your neighbor. That means what you give out is more stronger when you take it yourself. And if this person give you from what he is doing with this technology, with this plasma, it's more effective for you than what you are doing yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
It was for a long time. It's coming through my eyes and my works, and I tried really to let a lot of people do these dances, but I don't know. I cannot succeed with them, but I succeed to give them a lot, and they are taking a lot. But I don't know why they do not they do not have the courage to do it. Yeah, I don't know, but this I noticed really. So if really if you want to test this, just exchange gases with another person and see the effect of that gases to you. It will be very, very different than what you are doing yourself. Although there is some effect from this gases, sure, but it's more stronger when you receive it from another person. So I shared something with you. Don't say I didn't share.
Okay, you're off the hook. Thanks, Jilla. Okay, let's dive into another document here, and that'll probably wrap up the show for today. Unless there's any other individuals that'd like to relay their personal experiences. Do you want to read, Mark, or shall I? Or someone else? Anybody want to volunteer to read?
How about if I read and you
turn the pages?
Sure, I'll be your page turner.
Or you read and he dance.
Yeah, I'll dance, play the fiddle, and turn the pages in the background.
Okay, this is testimonial number 1. Even though we've gone through 19, I think it was, of the PDF testimonials earlier, and we thank the Brazil team.
That was part 1. This is part 3. So this is a new series of testimonials. And in the next testimonials group, we'll have a look at part 2, which is 64 pages or something of testimonials. So, yes, ongoing. Take it away, Mark.
Today, I had an exciting surprise. 2 of my cups of life presented sounds. Whoops, let me just mute that.
Speaking of sounds.
Okay, I better actually change the settings if they call back. I just put it into the, oh gosh, just a second here. Okay, it's on vibrate now.
Be careful for what you are wishing, eh?
Okay, let's start again. Today, I had an exciting surprise. 2 of my cups of life presented sounds. One makes a sound like a heartbeat. Another makes a sound like the bottom of the sea. I stood there in front of them, cuddled, and talked to them. Thank you, Mr. Keshe. I have a MagRev power installed in my home, and on occasion made another one for a very special person, making the donation as mentioned by Mr. Keshe. The results are much greater than we expected, starting with the atmosphere it provides, a very good atmosphere, which is best perceived when we are not at home, and we can't wait to get back home to rebalance ourselves. Yes, we have experienced the MagRev benefits, not only in the results obtained in the energy bills, my daughter's colds, which used to last 7 days and were common, are now almost non-existent. And when they do occur, they don't last more than a day or 2. I cultivate some plants in my garden, and I see the action in them too. And something that I have noticed is that during all of our lives, we have always known that it is necessary to save the natural resources. And in this moment of high expensive electric energy, it wouldn't be different. But after me and my friend have focused ourselves to the studies to better understand the MagRev system, something inside us was amplified in the sense of saving the electric energy. What I am trying to pass on is that the MagRev device is having interactions with everyone in my house. Wow, Mr. Keshe's words yesterday, mind-blowing. They came up against everything I have ever believed and seen life that way. I have gotten many strong critics in my life journey so far for putting myself and acting outside the box. Yesterday, it was as if the universe was telling me, you have always been right. Go ahead. How amazing it is. I got to know some of Mr. Keshe's stuff in 2017, then left it behind because of other occupations. And 2 months ago, watching a live Raphael Hungaria with Raphael Teixeira, I met KF again. I get to know all of you. I make my reactors. I have helped people. I feel light and grateful to be part of this beautiful movement. I am taking care of a friend with cancer, with CO2. I am in the agricultural group learning how to save street trees, sick ones. Until I heard all this yesterday, I am in shock. I am new here, but a very cool report. My car was not getting good, always giving problems. I put the GANs inside a cup with water in the middle of it, and I told him that if his previous owner had any problems, this was behind him, that through the energy of the GANs, everything in the car would be balanced. I went to sleep, and the next day I went for a drive. The car started to work in my first attempt to turn it on. Couldn't help but come here to talk to you guys. There were trips back and forth to the mechanic. When I got in the car, I felt a tightness in my teeth. I did not understand why. The important thing to know that the important thing is to know that the technology really works. Thank you, Keshe family. I just received the electric bill. I got some more crumbs. Lots of love. In the reduction, my consumption fell from 120 kilowatts per month to 48 kilowatts per month, which is equivalent to a 60% savings. The good thing is that the neighbors are calmer and have stopped listening to funk and pagodi and are now listening to classical music. The animals are also starting to discover the plasma in my house. Many insects that had disappeared are coming back. The plants are getting more and more beautiful. This class was very interesting. It was my first time in the group, and what caught my attention the most was that while he was talking, in my mind came the atoms, electrons, protons, amalgamating, and forming the beings. It was as if I was in a laboratory observing what was happening. The class was fantastic for me. Gratitude to all involved for this information to reach me. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. It is with great joy that I share another experience. My daughter is undergoing chemotherapy, feeling very weak and unpleasant reactions from the first time. I am from Minas Gerais, but I came this week to give her some strength in Anitopolis, Santa Catarina. I brought some CO2 and put it in a tube. And this tube I put inside a glass with water and a little bit of some of the plants that help a lot in the treatment of cancer, Hodgkin's lymphoma. She did very well and is still doing very well. Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe, and all the knowledge seekers who help us on this journey. I am happy to leave my testimony. I have a kidney stone that I discovered in 2017. I had pain, but it was mild and once in a while. In 2020, it started to get more serious, including infections due to urine dammed in the kidney. And I was on medication. In October 2021, I discovered the Keshe Foundation group, but I confess I have a little difficulty in assimilating it. On January 12th, I started to have very strong kidney crisis, intense pain to the point of going to the emergency room every other day. And I would get out of the car in a wheelchair. I would get in front of everybody because I would come in screaming. I would take medication in the serum, in the muscle, and I would come out of there in pain, and I would even go to the pharmacy to take another injection. I couldn't make my own cups of life because I was bedridden. I met Tanya, who lives in Franca. She was the one who donated water for me when I had the virus, and she, always very attentive, asked me how I was doing. And I reported that from the virus, the improvement was instantaneous. But there were already 52 days of intense renal colic. My body was not accepting any more medication. She tried to help me in a video call to do the reactors, but with the intense pain and laying down, I had no condition. Then this lady, Tanya, donated the reactors, 3, cup 1, cup 2, and the GANs of urine. She also sent 2 GANs bracelets to put on top of the kidney and another empty one for me to do with the urine when my cup produced amino acids and GANs from the urine. I say that the Creator gifted me this knowledge and with special people. She made all this with so much love and sent it to me with so much love that the next day I was already without pain. After 52 days of suffering and the power of morphine, my gratitude is eternal to the Creator, Mr. Keshe, and Tanya, who was an angel in my life. And I think that was the video we played, Rick, from Tanya.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
see.
right, Mark. Right, yes. That is the lady who helped hit this. Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's fine.
Thank you.
Just clearing my throat.
Oops.
I am Francisco.
Here we are.
Oops.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, anytime you want to jump in, Rick, feel free, or anyone else. I am Francisco here from Braganca, Para, and I made the workshop of the Cup of Life and was able to help many people in this pandemic. It was very helpful, and today I am following all of you and learning and experimenting with Magrev. I am very happy to be part of this group where I can learn and give of myself. Gratitude to all the seekers and Mr. Keshe. Different than the alkalinity of water from a purifier 6.4 and plasma water 7.2. As Rick said, the alkaline is usually understood to be more beneficial, and that's one of the ways to tell the plasma water from the same water is that it has a higher pH. I think that's one of the ways Mr. Keshe said is one of the only ways to tell that it's plasma water, at least at our current understanding.
Yeah, that's a good point.
In this video that I watched today, I was astonished all day because I am here. I am new here. I have not created anything yet, no cups, nothing at all. And it came as an information bomb in the field itself, because I feel the field a lot, because I also work with quantum systems constellation. And gee, what I felt was very strange. And in the afternoon, I participated in the meeting that Raphael translated from Mr. Keshe, and I had a feeling of, I don't know, sadness, or I don't really know how to explain the feeling of having understood such greatness of these discoveries, but of such little use because humanity is not ready for it yet. I feel my cells moving. I never felt this. I haven't had any contact yet with anything from the foundation of any of Mr. Keshe's experiments. All of this is, whoops. Oh, next.
Sorry, hit the wrong button.
No,
here.
it's okay.
There we go.
It's okay. All of this has happened just by having contact with this video that I watched and with Mr. Keshe's class this afternoon. very strange, a mixture of feelings and sensation. It's like he said in the video, you don't need anything manufactured. Everything is already in the field and you can access. And with much genuine divine love to change. Wow, what an impressive thing. I was and still am perplexed. It's that kind of thing that after seeing it, you can't unsee it. And that's what Mr. Keshe said. Give him 1 hour a day for a week on television. I'm just adding this, and he will change your nation. Hello, good morning. I am a health professional, and I did a treatment on my patient who had inflamed kidneys. I did sessions with the pen, but it was only a week, and she never complained of pain again because she peed with blood. The kidneys are great, but I leave it to you that you can not leave the pen stuck in place.
Okay, I'll just note that was testimony 12, and now we're up to testimony 13.
Oh, thank you. I started to do tests with the grounding of my electrical network. I connected a recipient with water and a mix of GANs to the ground wire that reaches my shower, which is 220 volt biphase, using a piece of common copper wire. The container is on the top of the shower head, very close to the region of the magnetic field generated by the shower resistor. The idea is to feed the GANs with the plasma that is supplied by the planet Earth and reduce the saturation effect. Also, to have the magnetic field of the shower resistor absorb the plasma supplied by the GANs and circulate it in the electrical grid.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, I think we saw that a couple weeks ago in Brazil when the gentleman showed his Honda. Oh, yes, here it is again. Again, a little bit, I myself would be a little bit apprehensive about the shower, electricity, and so on, but I don't know much about this.
Usually electrons in water don't mix very well, so it's a bit tentative, but yeah, well, whatever works for you. This is for experimental purposes and not something we recommend for everyone.
Right, this may be a time for a disclaimer.
Yes.
So here are the pictures of what he actually put together, and again, I'm not going to make any comments, but just read what this gentleman's testimony is. I have observed a reduction of another 1 kilowatt per day in my energy consumption, a crumb. But I am just studying, and any discovery can broaden the understanding. The system is in the same circuit as the maggrav connected to the refrigerator, which uses one of the phases. And again, here he's testimony 13. We're still on. I measured the amperage supplied by the power company to the maggrav and the amperage that the maggrav supplies to the refrigerator. I got 0.8 amps and 0.9 amps respectively. Example, the maggrav is apparently reducing 11% in current demand, but I know it is reducing much more than this in overall consumption. A very interesting detail is that the technical data sheet of the refrigerator indicates that it consumes 1.3 amperes, and it is consuming only 0.9 amperes. Taking this data into consideration, the reduction in consumption is actually 30.76%. Testimony 14. Good evening. I am paying attention to the channel. 3 weeks ago, I decided to assemble my cups 1 and 2, and today I use the water from the wash to spray on the sidewalks. I took advantage of it and sprayed it on the floor as well. I was having discomfort in my right knee every time I sat down or walked down stairs. It is like miraculously before I finished with the task, I no longer felt the discomfort. I was very happy and decided to share it with the group. The plasma water I started to take daily, but even so, the knee discomfort continued. And the first time I used the washed water, I was free of the discomfort. Thanks to Mr. Keshe and the group for spreading the technology. Testimony 15. I did an experiment which I found interesting, the spontaneous, intuitive way that occurred with soulmate reactors, Cup of Life 1 and 2, trying to follow the understanding of the positioning. I took an American cup with 15% salt water and put a raw copper coil and just positioned it near the soulmate reactor of the Cup of Life 1 without any wire connection. It shows that. Along with this, there was a connection. And after about 2 days, the water began to whitish, and the next day began to turn blue. As nearby, I also had the CuO soulmate. I decided to transfer it for fear of some interference with the CO2, and I positioned it close to the soulmate of the Cup of Life 2, and it is producing GANs and amino acids. End of testimony. Testimony 16. Dear knowledge seekers, I am a seeker seeking to learn, just like all of you who are in this group. And it was trying to find out about everything shared here that by chance I saw the group chat open at 2100. And out of curiosity, I entered. I didn't know what it was about or the purpose of people being there. I just stayed quiet listening to what was being said, and then 15 minutes of silence was requested. After the end, I was reflecting about everything I heard, and I felt like knowing more. So I entered the next day and in the following days until today. As I participated in this meeting for the elevation of the world leaders, I understood how important the work done there is. Continuing with testimony 16. Most of us are here in this group because we want to understand technology. We want to be healthy. We want peace in the world, and we want change in our planet. We are having the opportunity to collaborate for this to happen, participating in this meeting, interacting with our souls, intending that the souls of the people who make the decisions can be reached and achieve inner peace, and thus collaborate for the desired change to happen, for the good of all humanity. We can achieve a lot just by getting together with the intention of peace and love. So I come here to make an invitation to everyone. Join us in this meeting of souls at 9 p.m. so that together we can collaborate and with the change in our planet and thus achieve world peace. Together and united, we are stronger. Gratitude to all. End of testimony. Testimony 17. Good afternoon. I want to share that I did the Cup of Life 1. I have been using the water as prevention. I noticed that by spraying it in my mouth, that the smell of my breath has improved. It gives a great feeling of a clean mouth. About the video, a few days ago, this cashew seedling was very dry. I sprayed the water for a few days. I waited and nothing happened. I was upset. I think that the cashew had already died. I didn't succeed with the water spray. I thought so and forgot about the dried seedling. Today, wow. Today, I saw the seedling all renewed among the taobas. The joy felt needs to be shared. Very good. Testimony 18. At night, there was a blister of almost 1 centimeter. I washed it with plasma water cup 1. At that moment, I realized that there was no more pain on the spot. In the morning, there was no sign of the blister. Testimony 18. Testimony 19. Good afternoon, knowledge seekers. I am here today to thank Mr. Keshe for his teachings. These coconut trees had not produced coconuts for 3 years, and thanks to the plasma water spraying frequently, this happened. I am very happy with plasma technology and very grateful for all I have learned. Beautiful coconut tree. There must be at least 20 or more coconuts, only about 6 or 8 feet perhaps from the ground or less. That's the picture you can't see if you're just listening. Testimony 20. It's amazing the joy I have in my heart from when I first met the technology in 2020. It was as if my soul had been waiting anxiously for that moment. The joy that welled up in my heart remains to this day and is not diminished. It has only increased with every teaching, every video, every conversation, every action, no matter how small. Technology gave me back the joy of living, gave me back the hope of living in a better world, made me understand that we can trust people and that there are good, wonderful, pure-hearted people who are here to serve humanity with unconditional love. Continue. What more do I need to be happy, to have hope? I don't know how to measure my gratitude to the Creator, to Mr. Keshe, and to all the knowledge seekers. I only know that the gratitude and love that I feel for everyone is infinitely great. To know that we are experiencing all this change on planet Earth is really a privilege, and I feel honored to be here participating in all of this. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I think that concludes it, Kurt.
Yes, that's the end of this PDF. Great job, Mark. Thank you for doing the reading there.
Thank you for reading the pages. I couldn't have done both.
Anybody else have any comments or questions or anything they'd like to say at this point? Got a couple of people that just came in. I hear a microphone open with Alfonso. Did you want to say something or just your microphone came open? I think the mic just came open.
Oh, the testimonial meeting is just coming over 5 years old, heading to 6. Sounds like the child is maturing, huh? Today was a very beautiful and varied group of testimonials provided that you've shared, Rick.
There is a beautiful fields and feelings between the words in these testimonials. Very beautiful.
Many thanks to the Brazil group for the hard work they put into accumulating these testimonials and getting people to actually write them down and so on. It can be a challenge to try to get that to happen, and they came through very well. And we look forward to the part 2 that we skipped over this time, and we'll be back at the next workshop, which is excuse me, I have a cat that was clawing me at the moment. Just looking at my date calendar here in September 12th. Yes. Second Monday in September. It's always the second Monday for the testimonials meeting. And it will be Monday, September 12th. So we look forward to having that to have a look at, and that would be enough material to normally take up our whole workshop, probably 64 pages in that PDF when it comes up next time around. So I think that's it for today. What else can we announce before we depart here?
One planet.
Yep, we have the One Planet, One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice coming up tomorrow. That's Tuesday, August 9th. And that starts at 4 p.m. Central European Time. And people are welcome to meet with members of the Universal Council and the Universal Council support members, and we always have a wonderful session there with going on the soul support for the world's and soul support and solution for the world's issues.
And the same
go ahead.
Zoom ID, the same Zoom ID as here, 939-474-503.
Yes, indeed, and that'll be posted in the usual Facebook and other media places.
Of course, Wednesday, Rick, you'll be hosting again
the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, and people are most welcome to come there and attend and participate. Hopefully, show your plasma technology or share your experiences of the plasma technology, and hopefully we'll have some more input from Mr. Keshe in that workshop, and perhaps an opportunity to actually partake in an experiment, I'm not sure what you would call it, a spiritual experiment, a soul experiment, a psychological experiment, some might have said in the past. In any case, it's an interaction with as a experimental lab procedure, basically, with Mr. Keshe. That's the way he approaches it. And he gathers data, information from our interactions and how we respond to his directions.
And you never know who from the universe may pop in.
That's right. That's right. You never know. Okay, got to wrap things up here before this hungry kitty decides to start eating me instead. It's already tearing into my legs a bit. I think that's all our announcements for now. Let me see what I can go out with here. How about the... Oh, I'm I'm always tempted to go with the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version because it's a nice way to go. So that's what we'll do. See you all next time around. This has been the 66. Excuse me while I deal with the cat, as I was mentioning here. The 66th public meeting for testimonials here on Monday, August 8th. And we look forward to seeing you in the next public workshop and also in our testimonials a month from now. Okay, bye for now, and it's time to dance. Can't dance without the sound. Let me fix that. Sorry about that. Let's try it again.